4 years ago when I looked like this, I was jumping from exercise to exercise, not sticking to anything consistently. In calisthenics, the proper training programming requires the right exercise selection. These 6 calisthenics exercises are crucial that you stay consistent with them to grow the muscles that make you look aesthetic. So if you clicked on this video, I'm assuming that you want to build an aesthetic physique with calisthenics. So before we get into the video, click the top link in the description and it will take you to my full Jacked by Calisthenics course, where I literally take your hand and we're going to be creating a full routine together in order to get that dream physique that you want with calisthenics. Go click the top link right now and let's get into the video. So these 6 calisthenics exercises are, in my opinion, the best calisthenics exercises for building that aesthetic physique. Number 1, we're going to get into the extreme wide weighted pull-up. Now, I'm going to talk about these exercises the way that I do them as of right now, the ones that got me my physique literally 10 times bigger than it already was with my other training routine that I was first doing. So we have the extreme wide weighted pull-ups. Now, why did I start doing this exercise? First, for a majority of time, I just did regular normal pull-ups, right? As most of y'all do as of right now. But in order to progress and build your back even further to get that crazy V-shaped type of physique where fucking women drool over your bitch ass, you want to be basically building your back up wide as fuck, right? How do we build our back even wider than it already is right now? Potentially, you have probably been working out for maybe quite some time, right? But listen, this exercise will assure you that you will make new gains on top of the gains that you have already made. And even if you're a beginner, I already start recommending you start learning the wide grip pull-up in order to progress the way that we are about to progress right now. So the wide grip pull-up is an exercise that focuses greatly on bringing the elbows together and squeezing the back at the top, but also focusing on one of the crucial parts of building muscle, and that is that stretched position at the bottom. So we're going to be letting our backs fully stretch out at that wide position. That is going to ensure you that you're going to be stretching your lats to the maximum potential. Now, first of all, most of y'all should not do this exercise with high reps at all. Most of y'all can't even do that. What I want you to do is treat this exercise like you're really trying to build your back up instead of just doing high reps. Do this exercise fast. On the way up, you want to be moving quite fast, but on the way down, you want to be controlling it all the way down until you're fully stretched out and until you fully let your lats stretch all the way apart from each other. That's how you want to be feeling when you're doing this exercise. The volume of this exercise is not really that difficult. In my opinion, you should always do this exercise for about 2 to 4 sets in between right there. Today, I'm going to be doing this exercise for about 4 sets. So in the total week, it'll be around 8 sets that I will actually do this workout. And you want to be combining this exercise with other back exercises that I'm also going to be showing you in this list. So let's get into the second exercise, and that's going to be decline ring fly push-up. Now, the normal decline ring push-up is already great. The normal decline push-up is already great because we want to build that upper shelf, right? That upper chest part that looks great in tank tops, low-cut t-shirts, opened up button shirts, whatever. They look fucking great when you actually have a good upper chest. Now, we want to build our upper chest to the maximum potential. So we want to focus on the squeeze up top so that we can really contract that upper chest. We want to be focusing on the stretch at the bottom so that we can really stimulate muscle growth. And we want to also prioritize progression. So we want to get stronger and stronger every single time. So I have the best exercise for this. We have, and this is literally fucking phenomenal, we have a fly push-up. So we're basically combining a fly with a regular push-up. So it's like doing a cable fly with a bench press or doing a chest fly with the rings combined with a push-up. We're trying to get that squeeze up top that we would get with a normal push-up, but we're also trying to get that squeeze at the bottom that we would get with a normal fly. So combining these 2 exercises brings the best of both worlds. And the beautiful thing about it is that you can progress way easier with this exercise because it's a real good compound movement. It's still a compound movement, right? It's not like a normal chest fly. So we're still hitting the shoulders and the tricep on this one, but because of that, we can progress in a strength type of fashion so that we can gain muscle quicker than doing just a bunch of flies at the end of your workout. You want to be doing this exercise the same way as you would do your bench press or your incline fucking push-ups or your decline push-ups or your weighted dips. You want to be prioritizing this exercise as your main upper chest builder. I'm going to be doing it today, and I'm going to be focusing as much as I can on this stretch, and that's something that you should do as well. So this exercise should be done carefully though. I do advise that you go to failure on this, where you can no longer get a rep, because that's one of the most important things if we want to build muscle, especially as natural athletes. But we do want to be careful for that stretch position at the bottom. The reason why is because when we go very wide and we actually go extremely deep, there's potential that we can hurt our ligaments or our tendons. But the good thing about it is, if you're natural, you're really not going to get hurt that quickly. So you can go pretty fucking deep and just squeeze all the way back up top with some good warm-ups before, as a regular sets of push-ups before getting into the decline ring fly push-up. One of the best upper chest builders that you can do. Start getting them into your routine right now, and trust me, you will gain muscle from this. And all of these exercises that I'm going to be covering in this list is something that you should put into a routine to build the most amount of muscle in a workout. That is exactly why I've created the Jacked by Calisthenics course, which I will take your hand personally, and we're going to be building that workout in this course. So in that course, we're basically going to be building a full training split with progressions to be progressively overloading towards your dream physique with calisthenics only. If you're ready for that right now, go click the top link in the description and you're ready to get started. Exercise number 3, and this is to really build that overall wide superhero physique, and it's going to be the deficit elevated pike push-ups. Now, the deficit elevated pike push-up is something that we should do really with the deficit. We have the elevated pike push-up normal, which is already amazing if you can do those, but doing them deficit will assure you that you're going to gain even more muscle. Now, let's take a look at the regular overhead presses in weightlifting. We have the dumbbell press, right, where you're taking 2 dumbbells on the side and you press up like that. We have the military press, where we have a barbell and we let it go all the way down to our chest and we push back up. Those exercises are very effective. But what is one thing that most people always forget when it comes to the elevated pike push-up compared, for example, to the military press? One thing that people always forget is that with a military press, is it weird that you would go down to about right here and then press up again? Nah, you would go all the way down to fucking your chest and then go back up again, right? That's like the full range of motion of a military press. Why aren't you doing that with elevated pikes? With elevated pikes, if you want to get the most out of your shoulders, elevate your hands, create a deficit so that you can actually go deeper than the ground allows you. Instead of just touching your nose to the ground, which is already great, that's already difficult for me, but start by actually creating a deficit so that you can go even deeper, so that you can get a very important stretch on that delt while being under high fucking tension. And the moment you push back up again, you get that squeeze, especially when you put your head through your arms and you squeeze your shoulders and your traps. That's how you're going to be getting the most out of this exercise. Stop treating this exercise like it's a totally different exercise from what you've been doing maybe in the gym or something. If you want to switch to calisthenics, listen, these exercises that I'm teaching you right here all mimic weightlifting exercises, but in my opinion, they're a little bit more effective because they target the muscle that we're trying to target better. When we look at this deficit elevated pike push-up, we are literally stretching our muscles to the maximum capacity that they're capable of by going way deeper than we would usually go with just our hands on the floor and touching our nose to the ground, right? In the gym, we would not be going with a dumbbell press to right here and then go back up again. Now, we would fucking try to touch our shoulders to get that stretch and then go back up. Try mimic the exact same thing with a deficit pike push-up. It's going to change the way your shoulders look right now. You're going to build round ass fucking delts without needing no lateral raises, because this will hit the entire delt. Not saying that it will build your rear delts, of course. Rear delts is a pulling muscle, but this is literally going to be building that roundness of your shoulders. A lot of people have been telling you that you really need lateral raises in there. You don't. This is a compound movement for the lateral delt, and it's going to be stabilizing throughout the movement, and you're going to be building big delts from this exercise overall. Then exercise number 4, we have the weighted tricep push-up. Now, this is something that I do in my second workout in my week, basically, where I train arms directly, and I superset it with biceps, and I always do this exercise weighted, and this gives me the most insane stretch and the most insane tension up top at the squeeze that any exercise that has ever given me. How do you do it correctly though? Because I see a lot of people turning this into a regular push-up where you're basically just going to be using your chest and your shoulders. We are absolutely not doing a push-up, but we're doing a extension. We're literally just extending with our tricep up instead of pushing it kind of with our chest like a closed gear bench press or like a diamond push-up. Do not do that. You want to be going down on this exercise like it's a tricep push down negative, or like you're only really pushing your elbows backwards instead of letting your chest take over the movement. So you want to be literally going down like this and all the way bring it to your head instead of going down like that, like a push-up. So go down like this so that you can really mimic that tricep extension so that you can get that squeeze in your fucking tricep. Our tricep is 2/3 of our fucking arms. If you want to build big arms, you have to get the tricep actually blown up. And how do we do that? By extending our fucking elbows to get that real fucking tricep pump so that we can actually build our triceps to the maximum potential. So this is going to be focusing on the short head and with a little bit of that long head. If you want to make this even better though, if you want to make this like a a S plus tier type of exercise, also add in some shoulder extension in there. So we have elbow extension, but if we add shoulder extension, which is basically doing this, we're going to be getting even more long head. That big chunk of the long head is going to be hit throughout this exercise. So how do we do that? First, what I want you to do is go to failure on this exercise. So just do this, boom, squeeze all the way up top, go slowly down, stretch the tricep to the maximum potential, squeeze all the way back up. The moment you hit failure on that one, step a little bit more backwards and start doing these skull crushes, which are basically a variation of this exercise, but they also prioritize shoulder extension so that you can get a big sweep of that long head in the exercise to build a big chunk of your triceps. Then we have the Pelican Curls. The Pelican Curl is a stretched base bicep exercise that should be prioritized in your arm days or in your pull days. The Pelican Curl is always one of those exercises that you can rely on that's going to build real bicep mass on your arms. The effective thing about this is the negative part. The negative part basically assures you that you're keeping tension on every single part of the way down while having a crazy amount of stretching on that stretched position. And that is how you're going to build the maximum amount of muscle, by having a lot of tension on that stretch. What you want to be doing is do not go all the way back up until you're like right here, almost standing up straight. You want to be letting it stretch fully and then go all the way to halfway and then go down again. The reason why that's the most effective is because at the top, there's not that much tension. So you want to keep the tension where it's actually the highest, and that's in the middle part of the movement and of course at the full stretch position. Use this exercise twice a week on your pull days or arm days, whatever your split is right now, and trust me, your arms are going to blow up. Then we have the last exercise, and that's going to be weighted ring rows, and specifically drop setting it with bodyweight ring rows. Now the ring row is one of the most effective exercises ever because it basically isolates the upper back to the fullest, and you're going to be building a thick ass back through this. Now a lot of people will say, yeah, but it doesn't really focus on the spinal erectors or on the lower back such as a barbell bent over row would. I understand, but isn't that a plus point? Because we can isolate our lower back with some other shit regardless. If we want to just prioritize our upper backs and build that real thickness, this exercise does it perfectly for you, more than the bent over row would, more than any type of exercise in the gym would. This is literally a perfect row to get every single piece of the fucking lat involved to get wider and thicker. You're also going to be working your mid traps with this, a little bit of your upper traps I feel also with this, a little bit of course the brachialis, forearms, everything is going to be working in order to get that rear fucking amazingly big. So that's what you want to be doing. Weighted ring rows, and especially superset it with bodyweight ring rows. Now why is that? The weighted ring row is great, but to get it even better after a little while, if you have done the weighted ring row to failure, take off your weight vest or take off whatever type of weight you use during this exercise. Then go to failure again on bodyweight, because when you squeeze that lat over and over again, you're going to be putting so much blood into it. And I've been seeing the best results with this exercise by doing weighted, superset it with bodyweight. I'm about to do that today. I'm excited as shit, man. But anyways, I gotta record some more videos. So those are the 6 exercises that I want you to stay consistent on, and these are the exercises that I have all dropped in the Jacked by Calisthenics course. You're wasting your fucking time if you haven't gotten that shit yet. It's literally hours of me just talking to you on how to get an aesthetic physique with calisthenics. We're going to be building a full routine for you. Get into there right now, and I'll see you inside, and I'll see you also in the next video. Make the sacrifice and stay resilient.